All right. Hey, everybody. We back again.
We back.
There you go.
One more again.
I'm Spencer, and that's our licensed clinical therapist, Nas. Patrick doing a dance. And this is a Different Spectrums podcast.
I'm done.
Oli, 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 oli. Okay, so in this podcast, we talk about movies, shows, and mental health, but we also have some laughs. So don't take us too seriously.
Or do.
Sure, you're gonna cancel it, but okay, don't say that. Don't say that. Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a scene from Dragon Ball Z. Yummy, yummy, yeah! In this scene, we have Gohan being attacked by the character Nappa. Yes, Nappa. Nothing? All right, cool.
Nope.
Are you going to go for something there? All right. And Piccolo jumps in to save him. All right. And this is very different from what we've seen in previous iterations of Dragon Ball. Because in Dragon Ball, Piccolo was the enemy and was the nemesis of Goku. And so we kind of see Piccolo grow and actually start to like Gohan and actually humans. Or Saiyans, I should say, because they're not technically humans. Don't want to screw that up. But yeah, so we're going to be taking a look at this scene. Nas, what are we going to be talking about in this scene?
I don't know nothing about no damn anime.
That's a lie. That's a damn lie. Everyone has watched Dragon Ball Z.
I have. It used to be on super late. I remember, well, it might have been on earlier, but I would always watch it at like midnight at the house. Long time ago, like middle school, like 2004 type stuff, maybe earlier. But today in the scene, Spencer's going to bring up the clip itself, and then I think I'm going to dive into in a couple different ways. We're going to look at friendship, mentorship, instead of being the supervisee side and like talk about poor leadership. We're actually going to the other side, and what are you looking for in a good leader? But then also we could talk about friendships and romantic partners. So we're going to talk about intimacy and connection, interpersonal skills. That's where we're going to try and go. I mean, who knows? Last episode we ended up talking about peaches, so see what happens.
Yeah, talk about a lot of things in the show. All right, let's check out the clip.
Woody whoop,
whoop whoop,
woody woody whoop.
We need you.
While the others watched in vain for news of the battle, the Saiyans continued their ruthless conquest as Nappa unleashed the full force of his rage on Gohan. I'll kill you! Is this the end for Gohan? Find out next on Dragon Ball Z.
Piccolo?
It's okay, kid. No sweat.
No, you can't be hurt, Piccolo. You just can't. We need you.
I'm not gonna make it. It's up to you. You must stop them.
Piccolo, hold on just a little longer. My dad's coming. He'll save us. Just hold on.
Ah, too bad. I wanted to take my time with the Namek. Oh well. I can still have fun with the kid.
It's ironic, isn't it? After all my years of training to defeat your father, I'd go out like this, trying to save you, his son.
Piccolo?
Gohan, you're the only real friend that I've ever had. I want to thank you.
Just hold on a little longer.
I still remember the first day I brought you here. You were small, helpless. You've changed so much since then. The harder things got, the more determined you became. The more dangers you faced, the stronger you grew as a warrior. I know I was hard on you, but it was for your own good.
I'll never give up.
You're like the son I never had. I'm proud of you.
No, please.
Goodbye, my friend.
No!
Right. And we are back again
We're live.
and direct. So, just watch the scene of Piccolo dying for Gohan.
I like pickles.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a big scene because like we saw
Big pickle.
kind of in the flashbacks. Shut
Okay.
like we saw in the flashbacks, Piccolo was always trying to just make Gohan quit. But Gohan kept on persevering. And he stayed with it and got his ass whooped multiple times. Like a
As one
lot.
does.
Yes. I remember when you first see Piccolo training Gohan, Piccolo just literally left him on that hill. And there's like a big ass wolf or something, or this animal that tries to attack Gohan. But then he figures everything out and then he beats the shit out of that dog and then I think eats him.
Circle
Yeah.
of life.
He was trying to teach him survival, right? But he was always like, but then you see him like he was always just sitting like
Watching.
not too far away. Yeah, and watching him. So he wasn't always just in real danger. He was always trying to, teach him.
Yeah, he's cuckolding him.
Why'd you explain to the people what cuckolding is?
No, I am not doing that.
Yeah. Oh, you could say it, but you can't explain it, huh? All right, cool. Sounds good. This fucking show. So a reason why I brought this clip up was I thought it was a good chance to see like an anime character grow. Especially with Piccolo, since like I said before, he was, the nemesis of Goku. And so and it's just a heartwarming scene. It's heartwarming. It's one of those scenes where old school Dragon Ball Z people are just like, I remember that. Plus, I have not seen any of the new Dragon Ball, so I have no idea what the fudge is happening with that stuff. I have no idea. Apparently, like Frieza comes back, but he's gold. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no idea. But yeah, so Nazir, what'd you think of the clip? And yeah, we'll go from there.
So at first you see this big buff dude and you're like, God damn it, anime's always making everyone buff as hell. Yep. And then Piccolo buff as hell, and then the kid's like a hobbit. And then he's just gonna be buff as hell one day, like everyone else.
Then you got Krillin, who's just bald as shit.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I related to him.
You're like, I
Same.
like him.
Yeah, I like
I
him.
like
I
him.
like that one. I like that guy. He's like Wong from
Okay,
Eternals. All
jeez.
right.
All right.
Uh, okay. So I think that was always funny looking at the art, the over dramatization of anime. So we talked about it before in some animes. A lot of folks on the spectrum love some animes because it's over dramatic. Their
True.
reactions, their emotions, their expressions are very expressive. It's very extreme, and thus it's easy to pick up, easy to interpret. You don't have to, and then the narrator usually kicks in and tells you what they're thinking or feeling. So it's
Mhm.
very upfront, all of it. And so there's a lot of neurodivergent folks that will go to that realm instead of your basic normal sitcoms, things like that.
Mhm.
Um, Very common thing. So I thought about that too when I saw the super dramatic expressions. And then right, you see Piccolo, he sacrifices himself, right? Um, so there's an element to that. There's that teacher student bond. There's that
Mhm.
could be that therapist client bond. It could be many different types of bonds. Your child and your loved one, right? It could be your romantic partner, you taking a bullet.
You were my only friend. Mm.
So that was the next thing. So I'm like, your only friend was like a 5-year-old.
Hey, he's at least 10.
Yeah, there you go. Uh,
Mhm.
I was gonna say,
That's how lonely he is. Like he cut like nobody, because he tried to take over the planet, so people aren't really keen to talk to him. And he's very off. He's kind of off-putting
yeah,
too.
he's
You know.
yes, like aggressive and stuff. So how did excuse me? How did he end up becoming in this mentor role? Did Goku put
I
him in that
think
role?
yeah, I think Goku. If I remember correctly, Goku um asked Piccolo to train Gohan. It's
Okay,
either that or he was, or yeah, I think while Goku was away, he was just like, "Can you train my son?"
okay,
Or it was like that older Piccolo looking guy. He might have told him like, "Hey, Gohan or Goku wants you to train Gohan," all that stuff.
okay.
Can't remember correctly, but either way, Goku was probably like,
Involved in it. Okay, and
yeah,
so
I think so.
I also thought about when you first told me. Um, Again, it's kind of like the crosshair episode that we talked about from the Bad Batch last week.
Mhm. Right.
So you got this character that's been through some stuff. He's been a bad guy. He's been a villain, and then now he's technically like in this good role. So he's got
Mhm.
some innate flaws, some fundamental broken pieces, but he still finds worth and purpose. And through
Right.
serving someone else other than himself instead of taking over the world,
Mhm.
I thought that was very interesting. I actually related to that because I was for lack of a better word, what we call a shit ass.
Fair enough.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've been, my hands are dirty in a few different things. I wasn't the best person, this and that. I feel like a lot of us were toxic to many people growing up. And then we get
Mhm.
older, we mature, right? And so now we're live outside of ourselves instead of just being very selfish. And we're in this giving role, this caretaker role. And it's fucking awesome, dude.
Mhm.
Because life for many of us now has meaning. We're like, what?
Right.
I can actually like do things instead of just like buy shit.
Oh, interesting.
This is so interesting. Helping and teaching and loving and nurturing. I'm like, this is why people do this. Also, I'm like, if I do all this good stuff, maybe I'll get into heaven. If there's so I don't know. Like, can I bank a lot of stuff and then I can do more bad stuff later? I don't know how this
Trying
exchange
to get
works with heaven and
absolved.
hell. Yeah, like how much
Yeah.
good do I need to do? Where's the scale at? Because like, if I save a lot of people, can I murder 2 people? I
Oh
don't.
my. Can I just stab him a little bit? Not, fatally. Just, make
Can
him
I
bleed
just
a little.
cut off his toe and then keep it in my pocket?
Jesus.
I do not condone any violence, people.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
do
It's
not
like the
condone
third
any
podcast where you're stabbing somebody.
It's just a reoccurring thing now in the pod. Yeah, I do not condone any violence.
Okay. It's
Uh,
reoccurring. I don't condone it.
uh, I thought that was a good thing to think about. Maybe some folks can relate to Piccolo, man.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
because you've done some bad shit, just because maybe you've been to prison, just because maybe you hurt someone or you got some DUIs, maybe you got kicked out of school like I did, just maybe you failed some classes, doesn't make you fucking worthless. That's where my mind
Mhm.
immediately went to relating to Piccolo. in that
Mhm.
scene because I'm helping out a lot of younger folks now. And they're like, Nas, you're the nicest person, Mr. Zerka. They don't actually sound like that.
I was about to say, it's like, oh,
What are
the fuck
they?
are you spinning?
5? Yeah. But they're like, you're so nice. You're like the big brother I never had. I'm like, no, I'm like the asshole brother that you didn't want.
Get on my bad side, see what happens.
Yeah.
Amazing shit.
Yeah. Get on my side
I
where I'm
feel
not
that.
actually trying to help you. You don't want to see that
No.
stuff. Yeah. So I thought that was a good story arc. And then lastly, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, right, he's dying and then the kid's like crying. It reminded me of Simba. And his dad, and
Yeah.
he's like, don't die of it.
Get up, Dad. Get up.
Get up. And then you are my only friend. That was tough, man. There's a lot of trauma, obviously, in him. The kid's
Oh, yeah.
attached, he's attached. So that's why I thought it would be good to talk about interpersonal stuff, how to know people are safe. There's a bunch of stuff we can go for this on this pop.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. Um, honestly, so what would you say, um, kind of your relationships that you've had that are similar to this? Let's kind of get into that. Like where it's where you just are like trying to kick them off the cliff, but they just keep coming back. Just keep coming
You already know who I'm thinking of.
you you kick him off the cliff like 80 times and he just keeps coming.
I'm like, are you stupid, girl?
Why
Girl,
would you just go?
you ain't right in the head, girl. She's like, I love you. Shut up. So I've got
You have a few of those people.
I have tons of them.
One
Tons
was a
of them.
guest and co-host of the show.
Yeah. One of the co-founders, Colin, he'll eventually come back to the pod. You know, he's just traumatized.
As like a child.
Yeah, yeah. She can lift her head up now, and she's like bobbling and like moving and stuff, and like kind of like dancing. It's either that or she's just lifting her head up.
She's struggling, just like she's dancing.
Supposedly her head's like in the 90th percentile, so it's like a big head for her size. Yeah,
big old head.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, eventually Colin will come back. I've got a lot of students that I mentor, a lot of neurodivergent folks I like to tease. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
It's just kind of fun. I don't know if this makes me a psychopath, but saying funny stuff that's sideways that should be said this one way, and then I say it a different way that's completely incongruent of what a normal sentence should be. And my neurodivergent folks are like, what? And then they pause and then they laugh. And I'm like, I got you.
Yep.
Like today with a human.
Wow.
I can't remember exactly what I said. I said, oh yeah, they I got some folks that set some boundaries to cut some people off, right? And then I said, or you can just send them a text and tell them how you're sorry and it's all your fault and you blew everything and you apologize. And I got quiet. Like I pulled back and I didn't say anything. I just stared at them and they just like, yeah, I shouldn't do that, right? I'm like, no, you dumbass.
You know what, though? People need to know on this show that sometimes no one can tell when you're joking except for you. And
I know.
You're just like, gotcha, stupid. Hey, maybe you should just like walk into that fire real quick. I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, bye.
I see. And it's like, I was joking.
Yep. So I mean that's fun. We laughed about it, and then but sometimes I'll say those sarcastic things to see what people's reactions are. If it's just a joke, that's one thing. Therapeutically, I'll see if they actually agree with that. So the person I said that are looking like, you gonna agree with this shit? And then after we laughed about it, I do actually feel like that would be an option. I'm like, okay, you're not going to do that, but let's talk about why you actually feel like you want to do this. Because of guilt and shame, or is it fear? And we broke a lot of things down. It turns out it was fear of that other person,
Right.
and not that they feel guilty about setting boundaries. And so I use it as like cannon fodder sometimes. We've got a bunch of students that at St. Mary's that I used to do therapy with, group therapy with, then some that I just mentored. And so some of the homies are on different places in the United States now, and I'll tease them and I'll laugh with them, and they just keep coming back. Like I got a bunch of them send me memes and texts all the time now. Uh, they're like, "How you doing?" And then we'll have a legit human talk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "God damn it! I just want to bully you."
Why do you have to be real?
Yes. So it's a thing. It's a thing with me for sure. I've been like this since I was young. It's just less malicious now. It's because everyone knows that I love them and that I'm supporting them and pulling them through the fire. So if they actually need me to man up and talk, well, then I'll do that.
Right.
Well, so it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. I do it in therapy. My students enjoy it. You also have to know what students to do it with. Uh, you can't do it with all your neurodivergent students because they'll be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Why? Why does he keep making fun of me? Why?
I
It
think I
hurts
asked.
every time.
I think I asked one student. I'm like, "Are you okay with me joking around?" She's like, "Yeah, it's okay because we only meet for like once every couple weeks, so I can take it. But if you were my friend, I could not take it." I was like, "But they're good to know. I feel like I should
Yeah,
back
it's very
off
fun.
then with you."
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember who that person was, so I'll never. It looks like I'll probably just go right back to
You
normal.
just keep on going at him over and over.
Yeah, uh, I'm a piece of shit.
I know. I think we've come to the conclusion you're just an asshole.
Yep.
Got him.
Yeah. In saying that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're kind of the same way too, though, because I've seen you go at Dom
Kind
and
of.
other people. So yeah, you're just the same.
I know. That's why we click well. Just talk
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That's how we met. We just started talking shit about people while they were playing basketball.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember. I was sitting
I
there.
was
I
on
remember everything's
crutches.
visual.
I was on crutches, and I was just sitting on the sideline. And all of a sudden, you come next to me out the game. I don't even think you went back in the game, really. I think you maybe went in for like a couple minutes.
I was too
But
fat,
ever
bro.
since then, you're just talking shit. So
Yeah,
much
I
shit.
was talking shit to everybody.
I don't remember what we said, but we were talking so
Well, I
much
like to
shit.
commentate games, and so I'll be commentating and
Oh,
talking
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I like to
Mike
commentate.
hated that shit so much.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love it, boy.
When he instigated him, it was so funny to get him mad.
Yep.
He just gets so frustrated. He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. I'm like, "Bad, good pass, asshole."
He just,
Yep. Airball. Well, so we'll close that window, dog.
yeah, damn, well, breeze. I'm cold. Everyone
Yep.
else cold in there?
I love instigating things on the basketball court. It's just fun.
Same. I
But
do
yeah,
too.
that's how we met. I remember being so out of shape that I'm like, I can't go back in. I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna just sit over here and talk. What position you play?
I
I
don't even think we
play.
talked to each other. We just talked.
No, we were
like,
just
to
talking
them.
at people. Yep. I play
Yeah.
position in basketball, folks, just so you know, because of my
Oh, here we go.
size and my agility.
Yeah.
I play center,
AK
guard, and
stepping on
forward.
people's feet.
Center, guard, and forward.
Yeah.
I sit in the center of the bench. I look forward to getting in, and I guard the water cooler.
Yeah. How many you average like 10 feet stepped on per game. It's the worst. I hated guarding you. It's so
Yeah.
bad.
I get a couple of butt touches in there too.
You can fucking laugh.
He's like, why do I know this person? Oh. I do not condone touching anyone inappropriate.
Contain.
Contain.
No, you're
Okay.
lagging a little bit.
Oh, am I?
Well, yeah. I would
Am I back?
cut it here and then.
Okay. Am I back now?
Yeah, you're good.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, now we're good. All right. I'll cut it here.
There we go.
All right. So after that little lag session, but yeah, I think me and you have both been in this type of position to mess with folks, but also knowing that we love and we want to protect them.
Oh yeah.
So throwing it
Totally.
back at you, do you see yourself doing that with other folks, friends, partners, other like little younger folks? I don't know if you have a lot of younger folks in your life.
Really. I mean, like sometimes when I play pickup basketball at like the Y or something, it's usually younger kids that play.
Okay.
Um, but I don't really talk that much. I don't even talk trash that much, honestly, when I'm playing, because
No.
I
And you
don't
don't
need
have
to.
like nieces and nephews that you like mentor and stuff like that, do you or no?
No, all my
No.
nieces and nephews are out of state,
Yep.
so
You're just a
yeah, I
normal
don't
dude.
really talk to them. It's mainly like people that are my friends. Like if they're like a couple years younger, um, that I might try to mentor them a little bit, but nothing much,
Yep.
honestly. Um,
Consult. Maybe that's about it.
yeah. Um, but yeah, me, I love talking. Um, I mean, I love just talking smack to people sometimes. Like not in a bad way, but like,
Teasing.
sometimes just to see like how far I can push them and I'm like, okay, bring it back. Bring it back.
Teasing is fun. It is very fun.
It is. It's so
Long
fun. Yeah, I
long
do it
as
to
it's
Dom all the time.
long as it's not malicious.
No.
Yeah.
It's and that's the thing, like I always try to keep it just like fun and everything. I mainly go for like the like either try to like gross somebody out, especially like Dom. So easy. So easy.
Yep.
Or, just try to get like, what? What are you saying?
I remember when the homie little Terra had a crush on you and they were like, I think I like him. And I was
Oh,
like,
here we go.
do you like him? Because I just enjoy being around him and he makes me smile and laugh. I was like, I think you like him as a brother, as a
Yeah.
friend. And so they had to go
Yeah.
back and consult and stuff like that. But and that kind of leads into the pod. What we're talking about today is how do you
Right.
know when you like someone
True.
as a partner, as a friend, as a mentor, as a therapist? I mean, you don't
Right.
necessarily need to like your therapist, but you do need to work well with them. You're not always
Mm,
going to like me. Sometimes my clients fucking hate me.
mm, fair enough.
So maybe that's where we'll transition here. And I'll throw it back to you again.
Mm,
How do you know? And I want you to legit get into some thoughts or some emotions here. Not necessarily emotions like
yeah,
crying emotions, but like how do you know when you liked Dom, or how did you know when you like partners,
right.
or friends? All right,
Mm,
what's you like? Ah, shit, maybe I can trust this motherfucker. I feel like with you, before we get through, I feel like you it takes
mm.
time. For one of the main things for you is time.
Oh yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. It takes more. It could be like a couple good times you feel good, but then you like to see it consistent.
It all depends on the situation. Now, if like say it was like a casual thing between me and like another woman, it takes a shorter amount of time probably for me to like really trust them rather than and like really spend time with them than to
A deeper one.
than it is for like having a relationship, because when it's a relationship, that's when it's all in pretty much. It's one of those things where I have if I know that I can be around you like all day and not get annoyed, because a lot of the times if I'm around some people, I just like can only spend a certain amount of time with them before I get like annoyed, or if like their personality just doesn't fit mine to where I want to be around them too much, right? And so I've gotten to know exactly what I like in people. For Dom, it was more of she could take jokes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I could just ball bust with her and she just is like, okay, and then
She can
stays
go
with.
with it. She's good at going
Oh
with it.
yeah, and she goes with it, and she doesn't just like sit there and be like, "Wow, he's really talking shit to me." Like, no, she dishes it back too. You
Yep.
know,
She's a
she
trooper.
does. She is, and
She's quick
so
witted.
that's what. And that's the thing. That's what really got me to really like her was just her personality, and how like because a lot of fucking women could not stand me at all, which is fair.
A lot of
Hey,
men too.
whatever.
If we're gonna
Wha-
keep count now.
Hey, I know he's an asshole. Yep.
He just
But
ugly.
yeah, so Jesus,
I'm
don't be
joking.
jealous. All right, that's just jealousy talking. That's just jealousy. He's ugly as shit, and he's short. He's short too. All
Yeah.
right, motherfucker. Um, but yeah, that's what really gets me to want to be with somebody, especially long term. Is just, do I want it? Can I stay in a room with you all day? And like especially Dom, she doesn't really pester. She likes her own time, right? She doesn't
Yep.
just pester me with time. She wants to spend time with me,
Yep.
but at the same time, she loves like having her own space too. She's not clingy. And sometimes having a clingy person is just too much. It's like, okay, can we just get some space here? Like, I don't need to suggest space. She knows she wants her own space.
Mhm.
And that's what I really love about her. And um, and for any of my like friends I have, um, I usually stick with the humor, like you gotta have my humor, but then also we know when to just vibe and chill out, and because I'm not 100% like on person, I can't be on 24/7. I have to
No,
shut
a
it
lot of
down.
times when we're talking and hanging out, you're quiet.
Yeah,
But so am
and
I.
that's the thing.
So
Yeah, and that's why we vibe so well. Because and then out of nowhere we can just spark like a conversation. Just I know a lot of people can't can't hang with that because they're like,
they're like,
damn, they go to 100.
how did
Shit,
we
out of
get
nowhere.
here?
Crack chicken? What? Where did that come from?
Why are we murdering people with corn dogs? It doesn't make
See,
any. There's no logical jump to this.
so for me, it's all about just being able to vibe with somebody, and that's a vague thing, but
True.
it's my type of thing. It's hard to explain sometimes because
I
like
feel
in
like
an
it's hard for
instant
a
I
lot
could
of
be
people.
like annoyed as shit, and I'm just like, I don't want to be here. But and that's the thing, like whenever I'm with Dom, like I'm never really annoyed with her. I'm always just like chill and always being able to just talk shit, and she's and then we cuddle.
Yeah, very loving. Yep.
Yes,
So
yes,
you're able
that
to
too.
be very comfortable around her. And so,
Hmm.
right, me, the counselor, I talk to humans about this all the time.
Right.
Or I have people that come to me and that are comfortable with me, and I ask them why.
Hmm.
Why? Because I feel like you shouldn't be comfortable with me because I'm fucking weird. Uh,
Yeah.
but they come to my office and they sit down. They're like, "Yeah, it just feels very casual in here." And I'm like, "Well, the other offices are like warm and inviting and like nurturing, and mine is
Hmm.
just like nerd, nerd, nerd." uh, and I feel like that gives off a weird vibe, but people seem to like it. Uh, and so that's one thing. And then I'll ask people, so what makes you relax? And just the way you talk, the conversation based. And then you'll lead me into certain things, but then you'll give me time to speak.
Hmm.
I do my best because I'm big,
Hmm.
because I'm brown, because I'm a male. I've always done my best on how to like make people feel safe around me because I'm scared that I scare everyone, and I do scare people. And so I'm good at making myself present more cuddly. I'm also really good at reading people and fitting the thing that I need to fit based on the code that's in the
Hmm.
room. So I'm good at changing my personality, but sometimes I don't even change my personality in there. I'm just asking fucking dead face questions. Like
For
legit in
me,
the
I think
office, I'll
with
just be
you
murder
though,
face.
but that's the thing with you, like you don't force your personality on anybody because
Mm-mm. Oh
you
no.
that's the thing. And I think a lot of people of color really try to not do that, try to force their personality on somebody because you don't know, right? There's always that kind of like you don't know what's that person's thinking and what their intentions are, right? And so That's also a big thing, I think, for a lot of people. I think that's why people are attracted to that because it's, you know, you don't force anything. Like you let them kind of come to you, and then that's when your personality comes out, right? It's a
Yep.
little bit, like you said, it's more sprinkling on than anything. You
Yep.
know, little by little, you're sprinkling on your personality to people instead of just whoop, like right away, like I'm a doctor. Leave me alone. Like, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm
Yeah.
a doctor.
Oh shit! I'll be like, shit. I don't know what I'm doing. They be like, what?
I don't know what's wrong with you. All right.
Yeah. I said, you got the dumb one. You got the dumb counselor in the whole staff. I can't even spell. And then, and so I sometimes I like to swear when I'm talking to students, and like I'll be like, "Can I swear? Is it cool if I swear?" They'll be like, "Oh, that's awesome." They get relaxed. Sometimes I'll make like when I'm doing the intake and I ask about drugs and stuff like that, I'll say it in like some funny ways to make it relaxed. Um, like I'll just say things to make people more relaxed to make sure that bro, we're just having a conversation. Just two humans talking right now. This shit ain't
Right.
intense now. I'm not a doctor, like a medical
Right.
doctor. Um, I think the fidget gadgets help. A lot of students, a lot of my neurodivergent students tend to regulate with those gadgets in the office and all the different toys that I got. Like I say, it's just people feel safe because I allow them to be them, and then I sprinkle on my stuff because I'll get a lot of students. They'll be like, "Yeah, man, they didn't say nothing to counselor," or "Yeah, man, they
Mm.
were just too bright and bubbly, and I didn't trust it, and they were like the happiest person I ever met." And my students are like, "Bitch, I'm depressed. Like I'm trying not to die, and you over here
Right.
smiling and shit."
Right.
I'm like, valid.
Hi. Welcome.
My old boss at St. Mary's, people didn't like her because they thought she was being fake. And I'm like, no,
Mm.
she's legit that nice and happy. Like that's legit her.
Yeah. I
They'd
feel
be
like
like,
you
I
can
don't
always tell
trust it.
that though. With some people, yeah, some people just don't like people that are overly like happy. Like, you
They
ever
think it's
have
fake.
somebody that's working at like a drive-through or something? Like, hi, welcome to Culver's. How are you today? You're like, all right, calm the fuck down.
You
All right,
spit in my shit, didn't you?
you know, I about to pee in the Sprite, don't you? About to do it. I
I know. I
feel it.
knew that looked like Mountain Dew. um, but it's a thing, man. And so I ask students sometimes, and one student was like, "Now, is this where you want me to tell me that you want me to tell you that I like you as a human, and like you want me to gas you up right now? Are you making this about you right now, like my mom does?"
Jesus.
Well, this is my one student that we talk a lot of shit back and forth, and so they like to
Oh,
fuck with
okay.
me. Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
bitch, I will kill you right now. Like, I will literally drop kick you in the head.
Also, I think like when we say these, like I say the safe shit to people, I'm just like, just tone it down before you get drop kicked. All right, tone it down.
Tone it down.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like just having that kind of overly, like overly not aggressive humor, but having that kind of humor where you're like,
Oh yeah.
I will punch you in the chin.
We'll see a lot of my neurodivergent students. They have dark humor or very like
Yeah.
outlandish humor, unless they get in trouble whenever they talk about things. And so in my office, you
Hmm.
can say whatever the fuck you want, but no, I'm gonna
Hmm.
say some shit back. And
True.
like our ADHD can bounce off of each other. I should also say that most of these clients that I am laughing with and having good times with,
Hmm.
this human, there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of other things that are going on and sprinkled in. So it's some deep
Right.
sessions. But then, I validate some of that kooky side of them, and we get to working. Uh, so for me assessing,
Hmm.
I was talking to a human today. I said, so I'm trying to, a lot of my students have social anxiety. A lot of my neurodivergent students, social anxiety. Everyone has fucking social anxiety now. No one wants to talk to anyone these days.
True.
And so we were talking about Tinder, and they're like, well, I don't really know if, I mean, I talked to some people. They sent me a message. They matched,
Hmm.
but then they didn't reach out to them, which is fine. Cause like, why do I need to do this? Like, I don't even want to really talk to them. I was like, well, I thought we wanted companionship. And I was trying to teach you on how to socialize, to become friends, to become maybe romantically attracted, to maybe date. Like there's an evolution. Oh, I'm like, yes, there's an evolution to this shit. You don't just go right into friendship. Like we have
Yeah.
to build somehow. Um, and so, right, I ask these people, like, how do you know you're attracted to someone? Because for me, it's if you're dating on the apps or talking on the apps, is I'm investigating. I don't fucking care how your day is when I text you on these apps back in the day, anyways, not now. I don't care what you did for spring break or, how's your biology class going. I'm
Right.
looking to see your intelligence. I'm looking to see if you're funny and sarcastic, if you're a little
Yeah.
nerdy. I'm looking to see if you're a little weird, but also intelligent and kind. And
Right.
so, you find it in humans that sassiness, but also intelligence and kindness. At least I do. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh my God, I am in love with this person. There's this person in our doctorate, in our program.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think I've told you and Colin about this at times. But she is gorgeous, but I think she's like in her 40s, so she's much older than me, and she's
Mm-hmm.
just so funny. She is
Mm-hmm.
just so funny, and I love it. And I realized it after I liked a few of her posts. I didn't know it was her. And then finally one day, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Oh my God, she's gorgeous."
It's you.
I went on like an hour stalk to see who they are and if they were
Oh
dating
my
someone.
Come on, no ring on that finger. No ring on that finger.
No ring
Come
on their
on, roll
finger.
the
I
dice,
remember
baby.
actually engaging with them, added them as a friend and all that shit. And I'm like, yeah, they're dating someone. Fuck.
Damn it.
Also, it's long distance, and so I never shoot my shot long distance because I don't see the point.
Fair
But
enough.
when someone's that funny, charismatic, highly intelligent, doing a doctorate, I'm like, this is some stuff that I like. Daddy like.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't know if other people find that. I remember trying to date here and there, man, and you just find
Mhm.
the humor, the sassiness, the quick wittedness, and they snap back at you with something. I'm like, ooh,
I like it.
ooh.
Wait a minute. We have a plaything going on here.
You trying to hit my babies?
Why do you always turn into a fucking fat black woman? Ooh, biscuits.
The biscuits are burning, huh?
Jesus.
It's a New Girl reference.
Of course it is.
Smith's like, I don't understand the reference here.
The biscuits are burning.
Mama needs her biscuits. So I know what I'm attracted to.
Right.
Body, looks, and all that stuff. It changes. With every human, I can be attracted to certain things depending on the personality. Personality can make me super disgusted from a lot of people. There's a difference between
True.
being attracted sexually, attracted mentally.
Yeah.
There's a difference being attracted like when this is a short-term thing versus like I'm going to marry this individual, I'm going to build a life with this individual. A lot of different attractions. Right. There's a friendship attraction. So for me, that would quantify himself as legit a sapiosexual. Some folks pronounce it sapio. I don't fucking know because I can't read or spell. But you're attracted to this like intelligence. I'm telling you, something about that quick wittedness. Like you said, me and you, we vibe along. Anytime I meet a woman that can vibe along like me and you, and they're out there because you do it with Dom though, so it's a thing.
It is.
And if
they're out there, but they're also rare, man. Like,
they're rare. I've had a lot of homegirls though that can do it. But it's rare because some of that vibing and talking trash can be seen as very masculine.
Yeah.
Yep. Seen as very masculine.
Gosh. Can't you have like a real conversation? Get the fuck out of my face.
True. But also I'm saying like for the women though, they could be seen as masculine if they were to be like quick-witted like that. And so some may hold that back.
True. I think so, but I think also like our personalities allow people to be who they want, like be themselves.
True.
Essentially. Because we don't give a fuck. It's just like be yourself, but at the same time, like we can tell when you're trash.
We can tell when you're bad. I can also tell when like I said a few funny things and then now I have to be like a super nice guy and I want to be like an idiot and ADHD and I'm like, so I can't make any more jokes, can I?
So like, how was your day? Like, and then it gets boring.
It's a thing. And don't get me wrong, I've dated some people like that. They were the kindest, most innocent, awesome humans that there were, and I was legit in love because of their kindness. Like, oh my, humans can act like this? I'm like, this is unheard of.
What is this?
Why are you nice to me? Jesus.
Don't you touch me.
God. Oh my God, she was an angel. Yeah, 100% I would have died happy with her. But long distance, I really don't believe in that because I'm just not that type of cat. And so we stayed
Me
friends, and
neither.
it is what it is. Now she's married to some awesome dude, so good for her.
Hmm.
Uh, so I know, based on subtle things that I say or cues, on how they talk to me, how they talk about others if they're negative. I don't like people that
Mhm.
get super negative or trash talking about people. That freaks me out. Uh, I look and see how they treat people around them, how they listen to me, or how they listen to other people. You good?
Mom walks.
You're good.
All right. There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
we're almost done.
We're good.
Uh, so yeah, I was saying, it's really about how they treat others, how they treat
Mhm.
me, how they may treat people around us. Are they listening to me? Are they listening to others? Because I'm watching them while they talk to others. How are they treating the waiting staff?
Right.
Right? What are the subtle things that they're doing that lets me know that they're safe? Are they being negative and trash talking a lot of stuff? Do they have goals? What's their intelligence like? Are they funny? Yes. Where's their kindness? How do they talk about their family and friends and loved ones? Their
Mhm.
special interests. What are they? There's a lot of different things that let me feel safe with someone.
Right.
I remember I talked to this human online, and then we met. We're friends now. She getting married now.
Mhm.
I actually helped her stay in this fucking marriage. But when
Oh,
we were, well, stay in the relationship, not to self-sabotage. But
yeah.
before that, like we were like pseudo dating.
Mhm.
And I remember with the first date, she said, she's like, yeah, you just talk the whole time. It's like, I did. She's like, yeah, you just talked about how much you love your job. And I was like, I went on a full neurodivergent rant, didn't I? She's like, yep. She tells me this afterwards, like the next day, 2 days later.
Right.
And she said, I was literally just wanted you to kind of go away because I thought you were just some asshole. And then you just started being cute and being funny and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, because I don't know, I didn't know what to say on the day. It was like my first date in years. I'm like, I don't know what to do. You asked me a question, bitch. I answered it.
I love my job. I love it. I love my students. All right. I
Oh, yeah,
do.
I know. Like, she's like, I hate my fucking job. How dare you? Um, I remember she said this. She's like, I was legit gonna like just leave your ass at the pub that night. I was like, why did you invite me back to your house? Because you started being cute and funny and like quirky and it was enjoyable. And you randomly gave me a kiss on my forehead. And I was like, oh. I just like I just walked up to her and I was like, boop. I booped her.
That's how you get them off their toes. Like,
Yeah.
forehead.
And she actually moved, like I actually like jammed my teeth into her forehead, so it was kind of bad.
Oh my God. Going teeth first.
Yeah.
Missed you.
Um, but that she got to see the real me instead of the anxious me just talking about my job.
Right.
Takes time for that to
Yeah.
come out of me. For you, takes time.
Yeah.
Me and you need to feel
Definitely.
safe, comfortable. We need to feel joy. We need to be not be annoyed. We also need to be not be scared of like some crazy shit they may talk about. Like me and you see drama,
Yeah.
we're out.
Oh yeah. No, I don't mess with it. As soon as drama happens, I'm like, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
Go.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Any
go.
type of situation where it's like it might get dramatic, especially I don't like it's when it comes to like women and just drama. I can't be doing that shit,
It's
bro.
overwhelming.
Like if it's real life shit, that's one thing. But
Yep.
if it's like unnecessary things
Yep.
to where you're just like overly doing something, it's like a situation where it doesn't matter. That's when I'm kind of like out, you know? I'm
It's
kind of
tough.
like, yeah.
It could be overwhelming and it's too much for us to handle. We got our own lives. And so in friendships or
Yeah.
romance, you got to be put together as well. And not saying that you need to be perfect because I'm sure it's not fucking
No.
perfect. I have meltdowns. So,
Yeah. All the time.
yeah, so it's a thing.
I have them all the time. I'm just
Yeah.
anytime I'm driving, I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's a vibe. So let's change the pace. Let's put into a different gear.
Yeah. Mhm.
So we kind of talked about it, why students feel comfortable with me. It's safe, I'm comforting, I'm validating, I'm affirming. I'm not always giving them direction, but at the end, I am
Mhm.
giving them the law, the things that we need to do, we need to accomplish. We talked about it last pod. Like there's some
Right.
measurable things that we need to run towards, but also I'm going to hear you out. And we're going to talk and have a good time, or I'm going to allow you to tank if you need to tank.
Mhm.
I've had many different mentors, so we're going to go from the mentee side.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my dad, which is a strong masculine dude. I had my mom,
Mhm.
which is a hyper masculine woman, uh, tenacious. And then I've had multiple teachers help me and support me, but it's been mostly women that have supported me, mentored me, guided me, therapized me.
What do you think that is, though? Why do you think it's mainly like women that have kind of guide you along?
Well, a lot of them were professors and teachers, and so there's just a lot of women in that profession. Um,
But like, I understand like, that's part of the profession, but it's like it seems like you've been a little bit more drawn to especially women, like, in your
or they're
profession.
drawn to me. Like
That
I
too.
said, I've
That
had a
too.
few teachers that were dudes. One specifically,
Mhm.
senior year English teacher. He was just awesome, dude. I thought he was a fucking vampire, straight up. I thought he was fucking Dracula. Like he would talk like the Count and shit. Like he was fucking weird.
1, 2,
Yes, he did.
2.
Definitely autistic. Definitely autistic. But he would sit down and work with me. My 8th grade detention teacher, might have been 7th grade detention teacher. Uh, I was so bad that I had a legit detention half the day, and so me and the bad kids would just clean up the lab and like do crazy shit, and learn science. It was pretty cool. Um,
Mm,
but like he showed a lot of interest. Like there was always people that showed interest, where some of the other professors, mentors, bosses would look at me like gross.
right.
It would literally, they would make a face like, ugh. Some of
Mm,
them would make a face like they were scared, like damn it, calm down.
yeah.
Um, I think the women, there's just a nurturing kindness and more loving, more attention. All right, there's just, it's gendered for sure on how
Right.
men and women show up to like nurture people. So let's move forward into graduate school.
Mhm.
Uh, strong black woman took a hold of me,
Mm,
was educating me, and she was like mean as shit, but she was like, I loved her. She gave me a hug in my graduation. I was fucking crying on stage. It was intense. Um,
mhm.
I remember the first time she gave me back a paper, and she was like, "This is fucking trash. Like
Mm.
this is dog shit." She took me outside. Like,
Wow.
this is shit. She's like, "If you want to stay in this program, you need to do better, or you need to fail, drop out now. Like, you need to drop out now." I'm like,
Wow.
"Yeah, bro, it was intense." I'm in the hallway fucking sobbing. Like everyone's walking out of class. I'm like, "Well, this is fucking perfect."
Mm,
Um, so that was panic. My first paper, first semester in my master's program. You're trash.
mm,
Then she started working with me mentally and telling me to seek more services. I remember one of my teachers from Peru, same semester, failed that paper too. She's like, she sat me down and went through my paper, and she's like, legit validated the shit on me. She's like, "You're smart as shit, and you've got all these references. I know you did your research. You just can't write.
mhm,
Like your thoughts are everywhere and jumbled, and you're dyslexic, and there's typos everywhere." She's just, but you were to organize this shit now, you'd be a badass.
mhm,
So that made me feel good. Uh, So she stayed with me for a while. Then I had an internship, which I got kicked out of because they were just terrible. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't acknowledge me. They wouldn't make any eye contact. They wouldn't try to support me. They would just ignore me. It was horrible. I felt like a bad puppy in their office that just wet the carpet or some shit. It was horrible. I was throwing up before I went into work. Eventually, I just stopped showing up, and then I got fired. Uh, and she tried to screw me over so bad. It was horrible. And
mhm,
they almost kicked me out of school. I had to go to this fucking tribunal thing to stay in school. Uh, horrible. Um, this Mexican woman there at the internship though took me under her wing, and then I got in trouble from that from the white lady. So then they put me at this new internship with this other black woman, and she was a badass boy. She didn't take no shit. She was awesome. Sharon out at Aquinas University in Michigan, and man, I love her to death. I owe her my
mhm,
entire career because she corrected everything and taught me everything that I know and validated me. Sat with me for hours after
mhm,
work, teaching me how to be a man, how to be a therapist and a man. Um, I was always scared of all these women. There was always highly intelligent, mostly women of color. I respected them. I respected them always, one, the supreme intelligence. I looked up to them. I admired them. But I also felt safe to give them some of my weaknesses. I was also starving for guidance. Was needy, starving for it. Teach me. I'll fucking do anything you want me to do. Just tell me what to do. You'll find a lot of autistic folk. Tell me what to fucking do. I'll do it. But you just tell me, like, go over there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fuck it up because you didn't tell me what to do.
Right.
So I found people that would actually be patient with me and tell me what to do. And I was a star, stud, one of the best interns that she's ever had because she actually told me what to do.
Right.
Fuck am I supposed to know? The white lady's like, you should just know. I'm like, what the fuck? This is my first time ever being a therapist. What the fuck are you talking about? It's intense. Then I get to St. Mary's, and it was a little white lady. Super nice, super kind, also highly intelligent, terrified the shit out of me because of the intelligence, which was awesome. She told me she was on Oprah and on NBC, and she was on all these big time court things in Minnesota state law. Like, she was a badass in the cities as a therapist, specializing in women that were sex offenders. And I was like, that's it. I'm signing up to work under you. I want to work under badass people. So I left Sharon because she offered me the job, and I went to St. Mary's. And then I had another supervisor there too that guided me. Ruth was very loving, supportive, kind. She was very good at digging deep. All of them are good at digging deep, those fuckers.
God, why can't you be surface level?
Yeah, they asked so many questions. They dig. And I always wanted to do good for them as like they were my mom.
Right.
I got mommy issues. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
People know about it.
I
think that's one of the big reasons, right? Like, for me, I don't really go for any type of like, because I already have my mom, and she's a big part of my life. And so I never really kind of seek out any type of validation, I guess, even though there are a lot of great women, older women too, around me. But at the same time, I already know my mom is there. And so I don't really look for that. I always try to look for more men than anything to try and get more mentorship from them. But that's the thing. Like, I've never really had any type of like mentorship from people before. Closest I've ever had was probably you and some coaches back in high school.
Yep.
And that's about it, because a lot of people I'm very quiet and I don't really talk to people.
That's your thing. You were quiet. And so were me, I was always getting in trouble and running my head against the wall. And they're like, look at this stupid idiot.
He's just so admirable.
They just always love me. It's like the dog, the little puppy that was running and fucking nails himself right into the wall.
Yeah. I'm that old dog who just like, put him down.
Someone asked for a lobotomy.
Please. Yes. Right here. Just get it over with.
So I think that's probably the difference between me and you is people latched onto me and showed me all that love and affection because they're like, they wanted to help, where it looks like you were more self-sufficient because you were a little bit quieter, more isolated, and you just did your own thing. You minded your business.
Sometimes. But then also sometimes I always just wanted like attention and shit, and just did stupid shit to get attention.
Yep.
Really stupid.
We
I
all
remember
did.
one time there was a kid. It was like the men's bathroom, and this kid was in the stall just whistling happily. I was just like, fuck this guy. And I grabbed his binder and threw it in the urinal.
Oh my God, Spencer. You were Piccolo.
My only friend.
Yep. I told you, man. Me and you, well, we both got some skeletons.
Yeah.
But I mean, I told you that's a lot of us, though. A lot of us were our toxic selves, and every day we're literally getting better and better. And so I am not a perfect human. You're not a perfect human, but that's our growth pattern. I'm not the man that I used to be, thank God.
Yeah, same here.
And I like students to know that. It's like how we idolize like Martin Luther King. Like, man, he had a lot of fucked up traits too, and he was an idiot until he got into seminary. He was getting C's and D's and failing. There was a lot of issues with womenizing and this and that. He has some
Right.
stuff now. He is not like this saint of an individual, and so I
Right.
think it was very humanizing when I read his book called The Seminary. Not his book, a book called The Seminarian, and I got to see like his idiocy, right, and him failing
Right.
classes
Right.
and all that, then slowly prestiging all the way up.
Right.
I was like, oh, look at that. Everyone has a growth. They don't just come out crystal clear and clean and well cut and intelligent. Like, you can be an idiot and grow.
I mean, look at Malcolm X. Like, he was deep into some trouble before he went to Islam, and then, he found his way, and then found out to be like a really poignant, well-spoken leader.
Yeah. So with him, who knows? Could be bipolar, could be neurodivergent himself. He was highly intelligent, wanted to be a lawyer. And his teacher's
Yeah.
like, yeah, look at here, little brown boy. You'll never be a
I mean,
lawyer.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then that was
God.
it. It destroyed him. Then the murder of his father and
His
his mom
mom
going
had her
insane.
mental health. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was all on Lansing that she went crazy.
Oh.
And then that started his career of like hooliganism.
Mhm.
And then he got in trouble with the law multiple times. And then he went to Islam and then cleaned up a lot of things about himself when he was in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
And then, there was some radicalism, but then it cleaned up again as he transferred out and started loving
Mhm.
people and seeing people. And he made the trip to Mecca to see
Yeah.
all these Muslims be together and love each other and feed him and clothe him and take care of him and his wife. And there's a prestige. And so, right, the world, they make you think that him and Martin hated each other. But at the
Mhm.
end, they were more alike than ever. And that's why they had to kill them both, because they were becoming too powerful, too influential, too loving.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, it sucks. And
We've
so I
seen
like to see that
Tulsa,
prestige.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. The prestige can happen. You could be one thing.
Mhm.
A lot of us on the pod been through a lot of trauma. A lot of people that listen to us, a lot of fucked up shit in the world, right? A lot of neurodivergent, bullying, neglect, right?
Mhm.
Overstimulation, LGBTQ, all that stuff. A flower can still grow in the desert. Some of y'all Google this shit. Go into Google bar, type in flower grows in the desert, click on images. You'll see some pretty shit. It's very beautiful. I had a student that told me that, and I Googled it, and I said, this is awesome.
Mhm.
It shouldn't grow. And yet it does. So a lot of us that are broken, still beauty. I used to say, for people like Piccolo, you like fruit? And they'd be like, what the fuck is this fat guy talking about? This motherfucker hungry again?
I mean, cake, Nick?
You mean cake? Well, I'm a fruitcake, so.
Oh.
um, and I said, you like fruit? And they be like, nah, that's what you're talking about. I said, you ever eat one of the bananas with you got a little bruise on it, or like an apple with a cut on it or something like that? I said, yeah, they said, yeah, I eat it. So what do? They said, you cut around it, or or you slice part
Mhm.
of that apple off. I said, yeah, and then you eat the shit, don't you? Still good, tastes good, it's real sweet too. But it's a little old.
Mhm.
Just like that bruised fucking apple or that bruised banana, you still got a whole lot of nutrition, a whole lot of goodness and sweetness to you now. Someone's gonna love the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Remember that. Just because you got some bruises doesn't mean that you're worthless. If that's true, shit, I might as well be dead already.
I'm bruised. I'm beaten up.
Yeah. I ain't too bruised now, but was for a while there. Was for a
Yeah.
while. Until
Yeah.
I just remember in grad school, I always felt completely worthless because people were telling me that I was worthless in my internship.
Right.
People were telling me that I was inappropriate. And now I'm like one of the best counselors there are. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, why did you take my joy? Why did you try to burn out my light? Why did you try to change me so much to be like you, miserable? Why try to instill fear in me? Why do that? When all my mentors and all the black women and women, brown women I've went under, all they did was gas me up to be the best version of myself. But these other people try to steal it from you. Your classmates. And they don't even know that they tried to steal it from me, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
So safety. Who
Yeah.
affirms you, who validates you, who still calls you on your shit. So like Piccolo, you can push Gohan, right? And push and push and push. But do you do it with love? Do you know that it's loving? Do you have talks and debriefs afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you can't just get abused and then just get left out. Like there needs to be some talking and debriefing. This isn't a fucking anime.
Right.
It's leadership and mentorship is complex. And being the person under it, you need to know who you trust and why you trust them. You need to question them. Don't ever believe all the shit that me and Spence say. Question it, interpret it, think if it's true for you or not. Right? We want you to go back home and think.
Yeah.
Go back home and think. Don't just believe all the shit that we say now. I don't believe half the shit I say.
Hey, if you find a point that is a lot more intelligent or it makes sense more to you, go for it. We're
Awesome.
human. We're not always going to be right.
We're just trying to get a lot of folks to think of different ways. We're also trying to provide humor and love and connection on the podcast. We're trying to normalize things. We're trying to make people feel seen, like you're not fucking weird or worthless with this podcast. And so the 8,000 on Instagram and the 2,000 on YouTube, right? But we got a lot of fans now. But like real supporters that actually listen to everything that we say, there's probably about 100 of them out there. So you 100,
Mm-hmm.
much love. Much love. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing our materials. It's much appreciated. We're doing this for y'all, and eventually we're going to start going live too. So I just wanted y'all to know that.
And on location, people. On location. It's going to be great. We're going to be in the woods talking shit.
We're probably going to die.
Yeah.
Cocaine bear.
First time campers. So that's good.
But yeah, in the summer we'll start that up, and then we'll start getting more fan engagement through lives. But I feel like that's about it for the pod, unless you got more stuff.
No, I think we're good. So thank you everybody for joining. Please make sure to go onto our website, check out our merch. This is the first version of it. You can barely see it. That's good.
Oh, I see it.
But yeah, first version. I'm gonna get some stuff soon. I'm gonna wear it on here. I'm gonna be like, you haven't gotten this sweatshirt yet? You should.
Yep.
So yes, and then also please subscribe down below. We'd really appreciate it. Right down there. Right down here. Yes. So just want to say thank you everybody for watching. I'm Spencer. That's Nazir. This is the Different Spectrums Podcast.
Much love, peoples. Do your thing. Bye.